Hi everyone, it's Tracy Lewin.
And Peter Murray. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning, Peter. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you. Birds tweeting, beautiful day. You know, what's not to love?
That's it. Well, it's a beautiful day in Delhi.
And Peter, look at the price. The price moved up during the night.
This price looks like it wants to go to 1,500.
Yeah, it does, you know, and it just keeps on hovering just under the 1,300 mark. So anyway, interesting thing. I think that, who knows, hey, the next week could be quite telling because this week is the week that everybody's watching.
The ETF week.
Yes, the ETF week. So we'll hear more about that, I'm
the
sure.
11th, but isn't the 11th on the weekend?
Yes, it's a Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I thought that as well. It's a Saturday. So, you know, unless the ruling comes late on a Friday night and they release it on a Saturday. I don't know. Well, anyway, we'll see. But one of the first things that we have to do is we have to thank our YouTube subscribers. We have to thank our Facebook subscribers because we've actually reached 2 milestones that we're so excited about.
This is amazing. We have 25,000 people that liked our Facebook page, and we have over 1,500 YouTube subscribers, and we started with 0.
Yes, we started with 0. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun, and that's really why we're doing this program. I mean, it's off our own bat. We are no one's paying us to do it. We just do it because we love it and we want to do something for the community, and actually educate and inform people, and that's very, very important.
So guys, there you go. All you need to do is go like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course subscribe to our blog, and you'll get a free Bitcoin and cryptocurrency education.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go on with the news. Bitcoin exchange Bitfinex exits Washington State in 24 hours. License problem cited.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's actually not so easy to open up exchanges. Well, it's going to get more and more difficult.
Well, I think it's going to be the licensing requirements are also going to get more and more. And, you know, if you think about it, this is a financial exchange. And why should a Bitcoin exchange have less stringent rules than any other financial exchange?
Yes, exactly. So let's watch this space. But I think also, you know, the regulators, they're actually saying that 2017 is going to be the year of regulation. So I'm quite sure that regulators are going to go after the exchanges like they have done in China, for instance.
Absolutely true. I think that is 100% correct. I think they want to make sure, of course, they want to protect the economy and also the clients. So this regulation is inevitable. There's no other way, really.
Well, really, they say that the whole regulation thing is about the client, is about the customer and the clients. So let's see. Okay, UK and Canada regulations, or the regulators, sign agreement for fintech expansion. And they say they've signed an agreement that will assist fintech companies, making it easier to expand in each other's markets. That's an interesting one.
Thank goodness. What they're going to do is have a passporting system where if you have a license in the one, you can use it in the other. That's exactly what's happened in the financial regulation world. So, like I said, it should be the same.
Yes, excellent. Verifant helps enable legal proofs in the Bitcoin blockchain. And they just say that it uses blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain and other methods to ensure their customers' data is completely immutable and even legal in a court of law.
Well, that's very interesting. So they already have a concept that's working.
Yes, it's excellent.
That's very, very good. You know, the whole idea of identity verification and verification of documents and stuff like that is really a very important on the blockchain, and I think one of the fastest developing areas.
Yes. And, you know, of course, also one of the things is storing Bitcoins. You know, I was at a conference for the last 2 days and there was not really a lot of mention. Okay, it was a blockchain conference and it definitely did have a lot of Bitcoin elements in there and a lot of speak about Bitcoin, but there wasn't very much talk about cybersecurity. And of course, everybody is concerned about cybersecurity and also storing the Bitcoin. making sure that it's away from the long fingers of the people who just want to take it. So here is an article on 12 ways to store your Bitcoins.
Well, if you're not in control of your own private key, you're not in control of your own Bitcoin. That's all I have to say about this front.
Yes, most definitely. We've been saying that for forever anyway.
We've been saying that forever.
Yeah, so Peter, also here's another one about the ETF. How will it impact the Bitcoin price? You know, has the price already been factored, or rather has the ETF already been factored into the price? What's going to happen? Wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yes, Thailand's national stock exchange is building a blockchain market.
I wonder what are they going to sell on this blockchain market? You know, so they building an additional stock exchange. I suppose that they're building a blockchain stock exchange.
Yeah, in fact, what they say that it's a blockchain based market through which startups can raise money.
Ah, you know, Tracy, this whole idea of money raising with Bitcoin or with cryptocurrencies is gaining big traction. This is why this whole new idea of initial coin offerings is going to shake up the financial world soon.
Yes. Well, also, in fact, what they were saying yesterday is that it might also change the way people raise money, might actually also change venture capitalists and angel investors, that there won't be so many of those people anymore, because people are going to rather do the whole peer-to-peer thing. And if whatever you're launching, go directly to that community and sell them tokens. You know, versus finding one venture capitalist.
I don't think that's going to happen, though. That's my view. I mean, that assumes that the public's going to sit on the internet and going to look for crowdfunding opportunities. And I don't think that's happening. I think people don't realize, most people go to work on their day-to-day job, and the way they get introduced into financial services is by a financial advisor or financial broker, not by crowdfunding on the internet. So I don't think that will really happen. But I do think it will be a growth area.
Yes, definitely. So, I mean, that's also very much in its infancy. So, yeah, so it's actually very interesting anyway. So Bitcoin is now worth more than 1 ounce of gold for the first time. There's been a lot of hype about this.
This to me is the most ridiculous comparison that everyone has ever made, because there's no reason to make this comparison. But now that it's been made, obviously people follow it and the markets react on it. So it's one of those little crazy quirks in the market, because there's really no comparison between gold and Bitcoin. It's two total different things.
Yes, definitely. Totally different things. Also, 47 banks complete DLT cloud pilot with Ripple Tech. You know, Ripple is actually making a huge ripple in the market, I have to say. You know, and they're focusing on their business on banks. And they're doing very, very well. And one of the questions was, you know, what about the Ripple currency? What about their Ripple coin? And they actually, because, you know, it has dropped in value, but what they are going to do is they are going to, it's still there, and they certainly haven't lost sight of it, but they actually are focusing on their core business, which is, you know, with the banks.
That is very, very true. But also, you know, it's amazing to me how we have now moved on from everyone talking about blockchain. Now everybody is talking about DLT, which is the same thing. It's amazing how this world can just create a new acronym if they feel that one is going to lose traction.
Yes,
because
actually,
DLT
you're right.
is now the new password, the new buzzword. Almost hit password.
Yeah, I have to say that it was, you know, it does seem to be the latest word, acronym.
It's absolutely craziness.
Okay, the lack of blockchain talent is becoming an industry concern. This was at the DTCC FinTech Symposium. And you know what? It's actually quite amazing that there's just so much growth in this area. And, you know, obviously they are looking for people who are, you know, going to work in this space.
Well, I've said, you know, if you're looking for a career, this is the place to look.
Yes,
I mean, there's been so many new careers in this area that's going to be unbelievable. And yeah, it's really the place to go. If I'm a young person today, which I am, I'll be going I'll be looking at, you know, a career in this area.
Yes, excellent. And you know what? I think there are some people. I actually met a lady yesterday who's trying to do something in Botswana, and actually starting at a very very young age, teaching teaching kids at a very young age to start doing coding, to get it into so that they start to think about in that way. And what a wonderful project that she's doing. So we'll talk about her at another stage. But very very good. So Reuters, a self-proclaimed Satoshi Craig Wright, still seeking Bitcoin patents. I mean, we heard that, after that, after he claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto, he went off to London and he actually filed about 50 patents.
This guy is an identity crisis, that's for sure. So, because now I'm Satoshi, now I'm not Satoshi, and then he's this and then he's that. But actual fact, the real story is about the patents being filed, and yeah, they've been filing hundreds of patents trying to, to get ownership of all kinds of things on the blockchain and Bitcoin related and stuff like this. It's a very clever move on their part. So Satoshi's at it again.
Yeah, so they actually say that it's something like 400 odd that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is just a review of Bittrex altcoin exchange, and so they are apparently dealing with a lot of the alternate currencies as well. Mm-hmm. Seems to be a bit of a positive.
I read that review.
Feedback.
It's a very rave review on Bittrex. It's not, just to tell you guys, it's not our review. It's just something we shared from another site. But it's a rave review on Bittrex, so go read it and obviously make up your own mind.
Yeah, make up your own mind. Have your own experience. Bank of Japan will seriously consider virtual currency. So much happening in Japan, Peter.
Japan wants to have their own digital yen.
Mm.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. This is the new thing that all the central banks are looking to actually, launch their own currencies. So.
Yes, they are. So, let's see what happens there. Bitcoin's SegWit activation is only a matter of time. I mean, they're actually talking something like November.
Yes, although they're saying that they need a 75% adoption, and at the moment they only have about 25% of people agreeing on this. But whichever way they go, this needs to be done to make transactions time shorter, because people get frustrated about, times on the blockchain being transactions being delayed for 2 or 3 days. Although I just spoke to somebody yesterday who sent money from India to New York and waited 2 weeks. So.
Oh, really?
The banking system is much slower than Bitcoin. But unfortunately, our Bitcoin community are internet people, so they expect everything to be instant.
Yes, absolutely. So Ethereum spam attacks are back, this time on the test network.
Somebody has the knife in for Ethereum. I don't know why. They must have made somebody unhappy, because they continually being then this, then that. I've never seen anybody being so much under attack by hackers in Ethereum. At least it looks like it's making Ethereum stronger, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
What actually happened there, Tracy, is Ethereum has this testing platform where you can actually test your apps. And one of their claims to fame for Ethereum is that they are the most, they're more tested. The apps are more tested than apps on Bitcoin and stuff like that. And now, in a little bit of a twist of fate, the Ethereum platform has been down for 2 weeks because of these attacks. So the app designers can't test their apps.
Yeah, sure. It's amazing that, but yeah, there does seem to be a little bit of an issue there with Ethereum. Mm-hmm. And anyway, but the price, certainly the Ethereum price is rocketing.
Yes, because it's been backed by Microsoft and a bunch of banks. So we'll see what happens. I mean, of course, it looks very strong now. So don't forget about Ethereum. If you, it might be worth taking a punt. We'll keep an eye on Ethereum and see what happens there. And there's definitely more news on Ethereum all of a sudden.
Yes, there is. Yeah, pretty exciting. Anyway, so the next article: Bitcoin global market value grows to 20 billion for the first time ever.
Yes. So.
Yes.
We know this. Bitcoin made a new high, And obviously that makes the market cap going over 20 billion,
Yes, exactly.
which is still very, very small. Just to
Which is
tell
tiny,
people
Peter.
that,
Tiny.
yes,
And I mean, the thing is, Bitcoin is still minute. And that's the reason why, reserve banks, the regulators are all just sitting back and watching at this point in time because, and of course, the commercial banks as well. So they, it's still tiny, but they know that this is coming. They know it's coming. Okay, blockchain startup HAW reveals Bitcoin lending market concept. There is a lot of talk. This is actually this is in Japan, but there's a lot of talk about Bitcoin lending.
oh yes, absolutely. Bitcoin lending is look, the lending market is going to be one of the fastest growing markets in this in a sphere of new money. So it's obvious. It's not a strange thing that this is actually happening. So yes.
Single family offices are diversifying investments with Bitcoin.
I just want to tell people, the people that are so fixated on this ETF that's now going to invest money, the family offices and the hedge funds and the private investment funds in Zurich and in Switzerland have already started investing in Bitcoin, and they are 5 million times bigger than one ETF. So this whole idea that this ETF is going to be the sole mover of the Bitcoin price is totally flawed. For people that don't understand what a family office is, a family office is really you get what you call, in this case, they call it a single family office, or you also get a multi-family office. Now, family offices originated as private funds there where you have families that are very, very rich, and they would set up a special company with a fund manager and everything that would actually just do one thing: manage the family's wealth and the investments. And what has happened is sometimes some families aren't that big, or smaller families join the offices of bigger families and they share resources, and then they form what they call a multi-family fund, which means it will be a fund manager managing more than one family's wealth at the same time, but all under the same umbrella and with the same strategies.
Okay, great. Thanks for that explanation, Peter. That's interesting. So, I mean, they are definitely getting involved with Bitcoin, that's for sure.
Well, the thing is, they're private funds, so they don't have to wait for people to tell them what they're allowed to invest in, yes or no. They just do whatever they want. It's their own money.
Yes, it's their own money. Great. So beyond immutability, if Ethereum Classic maps a way forward, Ethereum Classic, of course, was, what happened when the fork happened.
That is correct. And they seem to be still wanting to go on.
Yes, and they say that they're the real Ethereum.
Well, we'll see what happens with this.
Bitcoin exchange beta resumes withdrawals. Good start for India. So, it looks like there are some of those smaller exchanges that are coming online again.
You mean good start for China? Yes.
Yeah, good start for China. Actually, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the volume again from the end of next week when some of the bigger exchanges come back online.
I wonder if any of them are not going to come online. That will be interesting as well. I wonder what's happening with all. They managed to do all their KYC what they're supposed to.
Yeah. So several new hardware wallet features introduced as demand increases. There's lots of people wanting to keep their Bitcoin offline now. A lot of people have been hurt because they've been hacked or they've been in an exchange that has been hacked. So this is definitely a growing market too.
Absolutely. And, it's going to grow more and more, like we said.
Definitely. So there's some strawberries. Let's go past that one.
Thank you very much for the strawberries.
Australian government commits $350,000 to blockchain standards effort.
Wow.
So they're developing the blockchain standards with a new roadmap, it says here, for the initiative has also been released. So Australia is also trying to move ahead in this space as well, and also to make sure that there's an appropriate legal and standards framework.
Yeah, I mean, the Australians, this is all part of regulation.
Yes.
It sounds very exotic, but it's all part of just new, more and more regulation that they're putting in place to regulate the space, which is good.
So Peter, one question, are you a procrastinator?
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you my procrastination story. In 2000, and I don't know when Bitcoin was 2000 and very long ago, when Bitcoin was still trading under $1, I was introduced to it and I procrastinated. Then I proceeded to wait for a better price. And you know, and then finally in 2000, and I don't know, when Bitcoin was around $250, I finally decided to start buying, and unfortunately didn't buy as much as I could because I was always waiting for a better price. And I hear these guys today, you know, they're waiting for the Bitcoin price to come down, to go back to whatever. Guys, it's a big mistake because, like I've always said, Bitcoin is not even in its infancy. It's in its embryonic stage. So prices are cheap.
Yes, even though it's over $1,000, it's still cheap.
So don't procrastinate, because procrastination in this market can cost you a small fortune.
Yes, it definitely can. So here's another story. Texas lawmaker proposes constitutional right to own Bitcoin.
Why do you need a constitutional right to own Bitcoin? This to me is absolutely, again, some type of craziness. You have a constitutional right in the US to own anything anyway. So, I mean, anyway, why are we even discussing US law? They voted somebody like Donald Trump as president. So anything good is possible.
Yes, anything's possible. Okay, Bitcoin is now more valuable than gold, but don't read much into it. And here's an article from CNBC, quite an interesting one. And also, I mean, the fact of the matter is, as you said earlier, you can't really compare the two, but we just seem to.
Yeah, and somebody has now decided, because the prices sound similar, to compare this. We could actually compare Bitcoin to the coffee price per pound and see where we go. You know, and I'll make an argument that why you know, investing in Bitcoin makes you consume more coffee, and there's a direct correlation between the two.
Okay, good idea. Okay,
Craziness.
Bitcoin adoption. Yeah, here's an article on Bitcoin adoption in Japan. It's actually just a blog that brings through a whole lot of the articles, so that you've got one place to check it out.
And the monkey swimming in the warm lake, in the warm lava.
No, that monkey slipper is in the hot springs in the mountains. How beautiful that monkey is. Mm-hmm. Definitely want to go there and sit in those hot springs. Mm-hmm. Maybe next to a monkey. Maybe
we can fill the hot springs with our Bitcoins.
Okay, so here is Bitcoin divisible, and this is just an educational video, so go and watch that if you need to know anything about.
By the way, those videos are very, very nice and very, very interesting. You know, Tracy, there's what I think more than 40 frequently asked questions, and if you want any of those questions answered, you just click on them, and there's a little video that explains to you exactly what it is.
Yes, you know. And it's really about, you know, educating people, but it's certainly not for you know, people who know a lot about Bitcoin and the blockchain and the whole technical thing. It's not that at all. It's really just for the layman, the person in the street who just needs to understand. So like a newbie. So India Central Bank, confidence in Bitcoin blockchain can only come from authority endorsement. You're in India. Tell us more.
Well, the authorities here are looking at ways to endorse it. Certainly yesterday at the global Bitcoin and blockchain conference, the Indian government seemed very keen to understand the currency and to find ways to regulate it. And they see it as a potential to create enormous economic growth in India. So, you know, this is a very forward-looking government stance, I believe.
Well, definitely there's a lot of action happening in India. And I mean, you were telling me a little bit about the economy, the growing middle class, the fastest growing middle class in the world, and all sorts of stuff like that. So definitely a place to watch.
Definitely a place to watch, and we'll report from India often. Just to let you guys know, we've actually set up a small satellite office in India because of everything that's happening here, and we'll be reporting from you very, very often.
Excellent. Okay, Peter, well, that's it. That's the news.
That's the
So
news.
we'll talk. Yeah, and we'll talk again soon. I mean, there's a lot going on, as you can see. Lots of articles coming through, different ones. We're starting to hear a little bit more about Ethereum. That's coming through. The regulation is coming through. The ETF, the gold, whatever. Stacks of news. So it's very, 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 very exciting space to be in.
And you know the best of all?
What's that?
It's weekend.
It's weekend and we're working.
Go enjoy. Go enjoy.
All right, Peter, you go enjoy and I'll talk to you soon.
I have a lot of joy.
Good. So have I.
Understood.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, bye.